Hello out there, live on YouTube. This is what I do every day on this channel. Upload daily videos. I usually try to do one every day live. Usually in the evening, around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I read each live comment, so you can join these live chats. You hit subscribe, then there's a little bell symbol. You hit that. And when I go live, you'll be notified. You click on it, come in, write a comment, leave them, and we get to them. But before we get to the live comments, uh, what I like to do on this channel is I think about something I've learned through life, something I've been through in life, or just something that's on my spirit, or something like that's come across. There's something on the course of the day that comes across my path that kind of like sparks an idea. And so I learned to write it down on my phone as a reminder. So like when it's evening, I remember like this is what I was thinking about, or this is what came across my life today. I want to talk about it. And what inspired this message is titled Too Old. Kind of like in the vein of, do you get too old to do certain things in life? And I've reflected on this often. I've talked about it at different times on the channel, but what sparked the inspiration was a comment by a viewer. His name is Dave H, at least that's his YouTube name. And he wrote a video, he wrote a comment on my video from last night, my live chat. So I want to read the comment that he left on my video from last night, and then I want to talk a little bit about the subject of being too old. So on my video from that last night, Dave wrote, "Love and respect." And he goes, I took sailing and navigation lessons in both the US and in Canada. I have spent half my free time for 30 years dreaming of sailing. I am now too old and tired to sail. Recently, I got the money, but too worn out. Broken bones, weak muscles. And then he puts like dots, like period dots to continue the thought. If you wait too long, it will become too late. Don't want to be a downer, so I will sign off by saying I look for joy all around me. So he's trying to stay positive. He looks for joy all around him. I guess dreaming helped pass the time. I think that's a powerful, insightful, wise comment that you would serve your destiny well to pay attention to it. On Instagram, a lot of times I post that there's the story of life. You know, when you're young, you know, you're broke, you have energy, and you have time. When you're middle-aged, you have, you know, you don't have time, you have energy, but you don't have money. When you're older, sometimes you have money, you have time, but you have no energy. And so do you get too old to do certain things? The answer is yes. In my opinion, in certain things, with the notation that there's no one answer. Okay? But, I mean, before I get into some, I will also say that Sailing John, a viewer that's in his late 50s, early 60s, he recently sailed down to Florida, and so he's not too old. He was able to do it. I know it was scary for him and tough, but maybe his body isn't as broken down as Dave's, or maybe he's younger than Dave. But you do get to a certain point where you get too old to do stuff. You know, am I too old to play basketball? No, but when I broke my finger the last time I played basketball, I just said to myself, Sam, you're too old to be playing basketball, pickup games. I mean, you know, you're middle-aged now. You know, if you get hurt, you know, you're not going to be able to work. And that's how you produce an income. And then I remember working with a guy, you know, he would go and play softball. And I remember one time he really messed up his leg because a player slid into his leg on second base. He was trying to make a double play. He really hurt himself. And I said, man, you're too old to be doing that. You got a family to think about now. You can't be out there getting hurt playing softball. And of course, many people pass the time of their life dreaming about retirement, dreaming about what they want. And sometimes they don't realize that you're one of. You need money, you need all those things, so that's facts. But one of the most important assets you have is your health and your energy. Because no matter what your desires are, that is the engine that gives you the ability to do things. I often say I'm in Florida, there's not people in their 60s in the ocean. In their 20s, there's a lot of people in the ocean. In the middle age, there's some people. But once you get into the 60s, you don't see people. I was just at the ocean. You don't see people there, and even walking long stretches of the beach, you don't see them. And that's what motivated me a little bit to get going on my life, to reposition, to spend 2 years to get down to Florida, to move out of New Jersey, because I didn't want to wait until I'm 60 something to retire. And then I come down here and I could barely have the energy to walk the beach. But I didn't just leave Jersey because I know, without obtaining a job first and securing a way I can make an income here, because I know there's no inspiration when you have no money coming in. I mean, so you find that balance. And there's balance to this conversation. I watch a YouTube guy that he's in his 70s. And he made a video today. And that's why, again, I saw like different things that all kind of like touched on this topic of, are you too old? And that's why I said, well, I'm meant to talk about this tonight. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. He's in his 70s. And he's been divorced 3 times. And he made a video this afternoon. He was very excited. He was excited about going on a date. He was going to catch up with an old friend. I mean, was it really a date? No, but I think he was excited to feel alive again with the attraction there is to the opposite sex, or to whoever you like to date. I mean, some people like to date within the same sex, but for someone you're attracted to or someone you want to be with, to go on a date can be very exhilarating. And you could see it was coming across. So he felt like maybe he was too old to have that passion again, but it kind of like you could see it in his eyes. He felt it. Now, I think, I think he likes the idea of dating. I don't think he'll like the reality of being in a relationship, because there's a big difference. And I think he knows that, but he was just having fun, because he even noted that, he thought he was too old to feel this way again, but he felt it. And again, I think it would end in a disaster if he pursued it, but who am I to judge? And then the final thing that came across my path that I wanted to speak on being too old was, when I was in Starbucks today working, there was a older couple that came and sat in the table next to me. And they were on a date. They were old, all right? I'm talking about late 60s, 70s at least, all right? And they met, I heard them talking, they met, I guess, on there's a website called It's Our Time. It's a senior citizen dating website, like, Match.com or Tinder would be. And so, they were talking and they were like exchanging small talk, and, she was trying to avoid, they started talking about like things that were wrong with their body. And then the guy was like, yeah, when you get our age, all you have to talk about is the different health problems you have, because that's a big part of your life, going to the doctor, dealing with medications. And she was like, yeah, I know that's true, but I don't want to talk about all that because that's how you get older. And she kept trying to make it a point that she doesn't like to talk about age too much or be around older people, because she likes to keep a young mind. And I understand that. And so then they were trying to find like topics to talk about. They started talking about politics, and then she was like, I don't want, she kept leading him out of the conversation. He was very easy to lead out of the conversation. He was a great pet. A lot of girls like that. But so she kept leading him out of the conversation. And then at one point in the conversation, he was like saying that he was on medical marijuana, and he found it helps him sleep. But I'm saying all that to say, I mean, these are just different funny parts of the conversation. Here they were on a date. Are they too old to date? Look, they didn't sound like they were a good match. They just sound like, but it sounded like some people, to stay alive, they want to keep certain things in their life. And I think that's good and healthy. If you can do something and you're not jeopardizing your health or other people's health, I think you're not too old. But obviously, look, there's points in life, I have to give you the real, and there's points in life where you are too old. I mean, you get to a certain point where you may be too old to drive, you may be too old to do certain activities, but you have to acknowledge that without giving yourself a death sentence, okay? And just sitting home watching TV and talking about your elements. And so, but I can't tell you what to do with your life. And I don't want to tell you because everyone has their own journey. But this is my life observation today. Like I've said many times, you have to live with urgency. Your most valuable resource is your time. And every day you get closer to death. Our bodies, our physical bodies in this earth decay. Doesn't matter if you eat a plant-based diet, doesn't matter if you go to the gym every day, and I do those things, we still decay. At 38, in the best shape of my life, because I've been very overweight, what I can tell you is my body feels different today at 38 than it did at 28, and I'm in better shape now 10 years later than I did. I could play a full court basketball being 100 pounds overweight at 28, sweat, go eat chicken, go out that night, and age deteriorates your physical body. You know, the other thing that the guy from the YouTube channel was saying that was going on that day, he was saying your mind may still be sharp, may still be sharp, but there's a disconnect between your mind and functioning your body because your body's decaying as you're getting older. Your spirit may still be strong and your mind still may be intact, but our bodies, if not anything else, our bodies decay. Again, I don't want to make this observation on a sad, negative note. It's an observation. And it's an acknowledgement to my viewer who said, Sam, I took sailing and navigation lessons in both the U.S. and Canada, and I've spent half of my free time for 30 years dreaming of sailing. And then he says, I am now too old and tired to sail. Recently got the money, but now too worn out. Broken bones, weak muscles. If you wait too long, it will become too late. Don't want to be a downer. I like that. And I like how he tried to wrap it up positive. He says, don't want to be a downer, so I will sign off by saying, I look for joy. I look for joy all around me. I guess dreaming helped pass the time. And I'll close my opening statement on that, and then we'll get to live comments, is that above all else, what is the meaning of life? If you ever question that and you can't find the answer, the meaning of life is to enjoy each day as much as possible, acknowledge the truths, even if they're a little bit negative, but try to stay as positive as possible. But you need to be mindful, not to wish your life away for retirement, not to wish your life away for whatever. Now, believe me, you guys know, look, I would like to be retired. I would like to be, but I make the most of every day. And I reposition my life to seize the moment responsibly. Took a couple of years. Urgency and living now and trying to stay positive and observing things around you, the joy included, and being mindful that this thing called time passes and you do get too old to do certain things. But don't let that be a death sentence to all things. And don't let me define what too old is for you. Okay? All right, that's the structured topic. Now let me close my laptop because I had to power up my laptop to read that because I wanted to make sure I got the comment right. Well, let me take a hydration break, drink more water, start there, and then we'll talk about your day. We're going to get to all live comments. Again, if these videos help you, please take the effort to hit the thumbs up on the video, hit the share button. It costs you no money. It's a free way to support me, support the channel. I appreciate that. And I also appreciate everyone who leaves a comment. Leave a comment. We'll talk about whatever, politics, sex, your relationships, living in the car, whatever you want to talk about. I mean, in Florida here, it was a nice day raining. I mean, you see the rain. It was raining today at the end of the day, but I did get a walk in the beach. Did a half hour, about 40 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes after work. And that was good. And I'm thankful for that. All right, live comments. Luke, hey Sam, good to see you. Luke, good to see you too, man. Thank you for coming in, leaving the chat. I appreciate that. Keep on. Happy Friday, Sam. Yes, it's Friday as I make this live video, and you know, being a full-time worker, which I am. I mean, I know some people out there have different work schedules. For many years, I worked Wednesday through Saturday. I've worked every schedule, every shift you could pretty much work. I enjoyed working on the weekends actually because I like being off during the weekdays. But again, at a certain point in your career, You're more than likely going to have to work the normal business hours because that's when the most business happens. But happy Friday to everyone who's having it. Um, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, but don't enjoy it just to drink or party. Also enjoy it to fulfill your dreams and to take steps closer to your dream so that your life can be more enjoyable. I thank God I got too old to hang out. In my 20s, I was like, look, I'm getting too old to be in the club. That's a good thing. It's a good thing sometimes to get too old. If you're still in your late 30s, 40s, and you're hitting a club, you're disaster. Disaster. You're too old for that shit, in my opinion. And I thank God I grew out of that because then I got away from, I'm just going to spend my whole life just to like party on the weekends. But then I didn't get closer to my dreams. I didn't allow myself to mature. And so through saying to myself, I'm too old to be here, I allow myself to grow and I make my life more pleasant. My life is a better quality of life that overall during the course of 7 days a week, I try to enjoy it as much as possible. And I have a well-rounded life rather than just living for the weekends. Now, to a certain extent, I have to live for the weekends because that's my most free time. But every day, I've positioned my life that at least now, every day I'm in warm weather and I can walk the beach. That was a dream. That was a goal. Am I living off investments? No, I'm not. I didn't fully reach my goal. But if you have a goal, aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you're amongst the stars. Having goals is crucial to set a bar. You're not going to make some of your goals, but you're going to end up in a better place versus not having goals. You understand what I'm saying? Good job. T-Ma, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, T-Ma. Luke, happy Friday night, man. Yeah, happy Friday to everyone. Star Pack said it's payday. Star Pack, well, money emoji to you. And in a capitalist society, payday means you can smile because paper money can actually change your happiness. That's true. You need a certain amount of paper printed money that's not backed up by gold. It's not backed up by anything. It's just a way to incentivize people to do stuff. That's all it is. It's a trading and bargaining piece of paper that allows you to buy Starbucks. Even that, I don't have paper. I just use my app. I mean, there's digital currency now is the main thing. But in society, the main reason they use money is to give people the incentive to do stuff. I still believe in a basic income. Look, in basic income, all the fraud charities are gone. You don't need Red Cross and all that anymore. You don't need soup kitchens. Okay. You don't need all the different programs that are out there to ensure that people aren't destitute. All that's gone. All that wasted bureaucracy, all that people feeling sorry for other people, all the times that you watch TV and you see like a child born in poverty or a dog being abused, it doesn't matter what part of the world, you feel bad. Guess what? It's going to be a universal income, okay? Adjusted for your area in the world. And now poverty and being destitute and all the bad things in this world can be wiped out, okay? You really love God, all the different religions, you really love God. Why don't you love God by loving people and giving them dignity with a basic income that would ensure they would never have to do dangerous things? All petty crime is now zero. You're never going to eliminate all crime. You're never going to do that. But a lot of crime is now eliminated. Yeah, because why does a lot of petty crime happen? Petty theft, because people are broke and destitute. When you're desperate, you'll do desperate things. Okay? And so a lot of drug use spurns out of hopelessness. Hopelessness is an emotional feeling that you feel when you're not going to be able to make it in this world. So you have to drown your sorrows. Now, a lot of that, not all of it, but a lot of it is eliminated with a universal dignity basic income. All these politicians, all these religious leaders, they say they claim they love God and they love their country. Show it by cutting a check to ensure a basic level of dignity for humanity. If you don't, you're pandering while you make billions, while you collect from your congregation, and when you give good speeches. But if you really cared for the people, you would do that. But you don't care for the people. What they care for, whether it's in America or in a third world country where they hog all the resources for their friends and family, and then they let the rest of the people fight for the crumbs, what they care about is keeping people productive doing what they want them to do. And once in a while, somebody beats the odds and say, look, you could be like that person. Why should you have to beat the odds to live a life of basic dignity? Why should you have to beat the odds to live a life of basic dignity? That's the rigged system of this world. Never forget it. The rigged system is not wealthy people becoming presidents or whatever. The rigged system is against the common person. Never forget that. Never forget it. Good job. Okay. Luke, keep this soulful conversation coming. It's always good to reflect and definitely find motivation to keep going on and moving forward. Luke, we love you and we're going for it. I can hear it in your voice. I know you're going to figure it out. And I know the God's grace is going to be with you even when you can't figure it out. Good job. Gilbert. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Gilbert. Thanks for joining. Thank you, brother, for being part of this channel. Thumbs up to you. Thank you, Luke. Life moves fast. Yes, it does. My mom is 70 years old. Her body is breaking down. Now, she doesn't take good care of her body, so that has accelerated. Again, the average life expectancy is 78. And if you don't take care of yourself, of course, your body's going to decelerate. And then, of course, even if you take great care of yourself, your body deteriorates. But at 70, she is now losing a lot of function in her legs because she hasn't taken care of herself and she's getting older. And she may get to a point where she can't walk on her own. She may have to try to get knee replacement surgery, but she's very overweight. And when you get knee replacement surgery at that age, you're laid up for about 12 to 18 months, depending on your certain situation. That's a horrible feeling to be laid up for that long. And so what I can tell you is, if you have your physical health and if you have a level of energy, you better get serious about what you want to do before you become too old. Are you ever too old? Like I see that quote, you're never too old to dream another dream. Look, if you're 65, you ain't going to be a porn star, okay? Now, but there are some 65-year-old porn stars, so maybe you're not too old. I see them out there. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, just try to be mindful of that. Luke, to live life fully, gotta do it as best you can. Make the most of each day. Luke, I don't want to look back with regret or could have or should have. Well, I agree with that. Now, again, like I say, it's a balance, right? I mean, you got to have a level of responsibility. You can't just say, F everything, I'm going to go after it. At least in my opinion, you got to try to do things a little bit responsibly because at the end of the day, you're going to need to provide income for yourself. So like, I'm not saying like, you know what I mean? Leave your job, leave everything behind, just go do something crazy. But I am saying start making decisions. Oh yeah, definitely. Luke, I've been picking my brain all day thinking of ways to make income while waiting for another opportunity. Been thinking of Uber Eats app or get paid to deliver. I would just start something immediately. I would go to Starbucks. I would go to whatever, Starbucks is a hard job. A lot of people don't realize that, taking all those people orders, but just do anything, brother. That's how I tell you. Like when I was in doubt, I went to a pizzeria. I went to wherever. I would just go to any retail store that they got like for help in the sign in the stores. And there's a lot of them out there because right now, as I make this overall, it's a good economy. I would just take anything because in my opinion, my experience, this is what I've done. You just get a full point where you're going to start to lose your self-confidence. You're going to start to drown in mind fucking life. And that's why I even tell people in college. So not just people laid off. I tell people in college this. Like, don't start mind fucking life in college through philosophy and not work. Because you do yourself a disservice. And I know a lot of people that get out of college and then they're like scared to work. So what do? They go out to the workforce a little bit. They say, you know what? I'm going to go back and get another degree because they play the school game. This is my experience, my opinion. So are you too old to go back to college? Look, you can go back to college, but the whole purpose of college is to get a good job. So it's like at some point you got to bite the bullet. You got to get a job. Like, you know what I mean? All college is doing is telling you how a capitalist society works because you can learn more information, in my opinion, using the internet than you can from college, in my opinion. What I can tell you is capitalism is shown in the college. You have to pay paper money, okay, that we barter with, a lot amount of it, and a lot of times take on debt to get a college degree, to get another piece of paper. Then you get that paper only so you can go to the free marketplace, use that paper to say, hey, look, I'm employable because I got this paper that says that I studied for a certain amount of years. It's the game. I've done certain things like that. So then you take that, and then also you're going to need some experience, because most employees, that piece of paper with a college degree is a dime a dozen today. In today's society, generations ago, if you had a college degree, you were exceptional. Today, you're just one of the many schmoes with $50,000 in college loan debt, and you're looking for a job. So yes, you still get on average higher pay than someone without a college degree, but you have higher debt. And a lot of people I know, they got a college degree, they don't even do what they want to do now. Like, I know people that got college loan. I know people who got college degrees in criminal justice, and they end up being an HVAC technician. So it's like, be mindful of what I'm saying here. Good job. John Settles, have a great weekend. Sam, you too, John. Thank you. Luke, great topic for tonight. Well, thank you, Luke. Thumbs up to you also. FL, Space Coast House. Weekend is here. Woohoo! Sunglass face emoji. Yep. Before you know it, it'll be Sunday night, and it'll be American Nightmare, because everybody got to get ready to go back to work. But let's enjoy one day at a time. Gilbert, I am 54, will be 55 in January. I wish I had followed my heart when I was younger, but I realized that it would be a regret to think now I'm too old to do anything, because 10 years from now, I'll wish. That's right. Good comment. Thank you, brother. Yeah, in your 50s, it's still relatively young. Yes, you're older. Again, if 78 is average life expectancy, meaning you'll die, 38 is the middle. So you're born here. This is your beginning of life. 78 on average is your death. 38 is the middle of your life. That's your peak. And then you start to plateau down. You can't argue with that. That's scientific data. Okay? You're not going to beat the odds when it comes to death. You may beat the odds when it comes to life expectancy, but not death in this world. No one's done it yet. Okay? So, 0, 78, 38, that's what I am right now. 55 is about here. Okay, you got still a quarter of your life left. But when you're at 10% of your life left, it's hard to do. I have a great friend that I love from Florida, and I watch her posts sometimes on different social media, and she got back from a road trip. I won't say her name because I love her, but she joins this channel from time to time. And I listen to her comments on social media because she's a very insightful woman. And she had got back from a road trip from Ohio. Her and her friend drove from Florida to Ohio. That's where she's from, and back to Florida. And I remember what she wrote when she got back, that she may be getting too old for long road trips. Long road trips, when you're in your 70s or in that area, that takes a toll on your body. And it doesn't make it enjoyable. I remember watching an old Western movie with, I forgot his name, a bald, older actor. I forgot his name, but he did a couple, it's on the tip of my tongue, John DeVolt or something like that. It's on the tip of my tongue. But either way, he's an old actor in a Western movie, and they were, in the Wild Wild West, of course, and they had a dog, and they were getting ready. Of course, in those times, you load up the horses and you get ready to go. They were going somewhere far away, and their old dog was like going towards them like he would normally do and be part of the traveling pack, with the horses and the chariot. And the older actor said to the dog, he said, "Nah, I know you want to come," whatever the dog's name was. I don't remember. We'll call the dog Lassie. He goes, "I know you want to come, Lassie." He goes, "But you're getting too old, and even though you want to come, you wouldn't enjoy it." And I remember that, even with my old dog, it's like she would look at me, and I could see her mind, and she wanted to do something, and then she would do it a little bit, and then she just didn't have the strength. I could see her wheels turning initially, and her eyes light up, that she knew exactly what she used to do and what she wants to do, but then she would do it, and her legs would just give in on her. She just didn't have that physical capacity. And it's very sad, but again, this is a life observation, and it's interesting. Luke, totally agree with you, Gilbert. Luke, I was inspired at Dunkin' Donuts as well. I met older couple who I started talking to, and he was in his 80s and still working at Walmart. as a greeter because he likes to stay active. Nothing wrong with that. My mom actually still part-time. I don't know how much longer she can do it. She works at a supermarket just to stay active. So was inspiring, yes. I will get a job at Walmart, Luke. Look, Walmart's usually always hiring. I remember talking to somebody, I don't know if it was a hire manager. It was a manager at Walmart, and I heard them say, look, we're always hiring. If you could pass a drug test, you're going to get in. So I would try that. I'm not saying that's where you should stop. That shouldn't be your career goal. But I would try Walmart. What's wrong with that? I mean, what's wrong? Amazon has a standard now in their company, and it's season time. It's in their height of their season by, Thanksgiving, Christmas, that they have a minimum $15 an hour. So I would try that. Try Amazon. Try Walmart. If you want to, it's your life. I'm speaking out loud here in my own mind. There's certainly been a couple seasons of my life where I had a little bit of money saved and I got laid off and I wanted to take time off. So again, I don't want to discourage if you're in that season, but I'm just sharing all the different thoughts in my mind. MTOF. I checked out your Instagram today. Thank you. The rat race shit. Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at the word inspire_38. He said, I checked out your Instagram, that rat race shit. People obsess over money. It's true. But we have to, because that's the only way we can barter and trade. But it's all a game. Printed money. And I understand it. I mean, I can't be disingenuous, right? Because you have to keep society incentivized to do something, right? Or else you would never have hospitals. And what would people, but I don't know, a lot of hospitals and stuff I now see. If you want to see a real tragedy, go in a hospital. Sometimes hospitals save lives and they're beautiful. A lot of times, all you're going to see is bureaucracy, bad nursing, and bad doctors. Everyone's worn out. Those nurses and doctors are working around the clock chasing the money. I don't know. So, unemployment would be zero with basic income, and people that would be working would want to work, and no one would be stressed out. Nurses wouldn't be stressed out that they just left their man, and now they're a single mom, and they got to work, 32 hours straight. I don't know. But either way, I mean, the counterbalance to that, you do need to incentivize people through some type of means. So what the governments and the powers to be over time have said that if we create a society based on incentivizing people with giving them paper money or gold or whatever is a commodity, then they'll use that to trade in the marketplace, and that will keep society productive. You're always going to have 10% of society that sits home all day, play video games, and watches porn. You always got to have a certain percent of the society that's not healthy enough mentally to deal with stresses of work. So, you're always going to have a certain percent, and you're always going to have a certain percentage of society that are 10% that are rich, wealthy, they're living off inheritance. And, for them, they'll never burn through that money in their lifetime. And then you got the majority of people that are in the middle, the 80% of society that are, trying to do, whatever. They're carrying the bulk of the load. The bulk of the load in society is really the middle, because they're carrying the load of the people that are destitute, and they're working for the people that are privileged. The bulk of the burden of work gets done on average by the people in the middle, all the way to the lower middle class to the upper. Again, because you got certain people very low for various reasons. They're not engaged in the workforce. You got certain people very above. They're all the way up top, commanding what to do. And so the bulk of people are caught right in that middle. That's what statistics show. That's reality of life. And that's what I learned too. I remember Chris Rock did a stand-up comedian about that. He said he went to all different types of schools, rich schools, poor schools. And what he learned is most people are average students. There's a certain amount of students that take the short bus to school, and no disrespect, but they struggle with different disabilities. And then there's a certain level of very intelligent people and et cetera, et cetera. So, but most people are right in the middle. Gilbert, I believe Sammy said it best in other videos. Begin where you are, stop looking back, and move forward. Memories are good, but not if they hold you in the past. Great comment, brother. Thank you. Great comment. Good job. Luke, I try to stay motivated because I am in a midway point of my life, and I still have remembrance of my youth. But I also feel haunted toward my old age. So strange feeling that place in my mid-30s. Not strange, brother. I can totally relate. I think, I've always had an old soul. And when you do things very young, I mean, you can feel old. So I understand where you're coming from. Gilbert, thanks at Luke. Snow Dog, what's up, brother? You are right about age, Sam. I thought I could hop a fence. I saw myself do it, but I hit my knee on the top of the fence and I almost didn't make it. I definitely hear that, brother. That's a good comment. Luke, it's so strange. Thank you, Luke, and thank you everyone for leaving a comment, man. Thank you. Because it's like, it's helpful for me to have this dialogue for various reasons, but also this is a level of connection. And I appreciate that you won't leave a comment. It's so strange feeling my girlfriend is 19. She's only 19? But she is old soul, so kind of cool, huh? I bet that we can vibe on the same activities. I bet you could vibe at 19-year-old PYT. Stands for pretty young thing. I ain't mad at that. Damn right, truth. Living now and staying positive. Yeah, with a 19-year-old girlfriend? No wonder you ain't going back to work. Good job. Free to be me. Life sucks, but stay positive. Free to be me. Somebody give that brother a truth 100 emoji. Because you know what? Brother's spitting that knowledge. I agree. Blanton from Boone, North Carolina. We don't know if Blanton is the young man who gave the video resume or if he is a robot disguised as a Manchurian candidate. Blanton, what's up, brother? You, Tom Hanks, and everybody in Boone. We love you, brother. He says almost 6K subscribers. Thank you, brother. Yeah, as I make this live feed, I mean, you may watch the replay tomorrow or 10 years from now. But as I make this video, before I made the video, I think I have 5,998 subscribers. It goes up and down. People unsubscribe, people subscribe. Overall, it's trended up. There was a season where it was shooting up and then it got slow and it kind of was like putzing along. Probably get a couple subscribers per day, something like that. Views are your main thing on when you have a YouTube channel as far as growing your channel and monetization. Subscribers are nice because it shows that you have a base and people care. But a lot of people just click, subscribe, which is great, but they won't come in on a regular basis. I would say probably about 10% of your subscribers will come in on a quote unquote regular basis. And that will be your base. Just like you hear like in politic talk, like they're playing to their base, right? So you have a certain pool of people that support general ideas or a general YouTube channel, but then you have a base, you have a core people that come in daily and there's a real interaction. And that's what it is in life. And I appreciate the base. I appreciate everyone. Janice, how about if they might think you are too old, but you don't think so? Well, again, I think your mind can tell you you're not too old, but your body may tell you you're too old. But then I make the notation that only you know you, because there are some people that are not average, that they're actually the exception to the rule. There's always exceptions to the rule. So again, I don't want to put anyone in a box. And there's value in age. Like there's value in having someone older, experienced. Like sometimes like when I work construction, what I used to tell some people is like, look, a lot of times I like working with the older person because they know how to do it in a way that's not as stringent physically because they've had to adapt and think of ways to do things without killing themselves. So when I say too old, I'm not saying a person has no value or I'm not devaluing them. That's not the reason for this video, to devalue old people, because we're all getting old every day. That's the kind of the message of the video, is to seize the moment. Be mindful of life in this world and how we decay. Not to shame old people or not to make you question yourself, but this is a life observation on how this world operates. And we're in this world for a short period of time. Long days, fast years. And so I know Steve Jobs once said one of the best things that kind of like plays a part in his is knowing he's going to die one day. So like, because that keeps you kind of like urgent to do what you want to do so that, you're living. If not, you're going to be caught in the monotony of life of the rat race. The rat race is you're putting blinders on until you're with the government or whatever dictatorship, until you're 67, and you can collect Social Security, and they may get rid of that because a lot of politicians now talking about the deficit's too high. We gave $1 trillion in tax cuts, blew up the deficit. The deficit was already high. We blew it up. Now they're talking about we have to do entitlement reform. That's next. Watch that. Watch that rabbit coming out of the hat. Okay, they love it though. You got an extra $100 a month. That's all right. Let's see what happens at 67. So at 67, they say put blinders on, do the rat race until you're 67. Then you wake up at 67 and you may have health problems, and you think you're going to spend time with your children and your grandchildren and you're going to be sailing across the ocean. But the truth is your children now, they're in the rat race. They don't have time for you. They love you. They don't have time for you. They're in a rat race. And your body's broken down so you're not as independent, and you're not like on the side of a sailboat with a Speedo on and a tank top, like, you know what I mean, with Luke and his 19-year-old girlfriend, like having wild sex. You're not doing any of that. You're dating a guy at Starbucks from itsourtime.com. He's talking about he uses medical marijuana, and he's telling about like his physical problems. And you're telling him, well, I don't like to talk about that because I don't want to get old. And you look old as dirt. I mean, no disrespect, but she look old. I mean, she might as well, but love and respect. And what I can tell you is it's a disaster. Make the most of your days and stay positive. Good job. All right. And Mel says, I connected with a childhood friend today that I haven't spoken to in years. She was old, man. No disrespect. She's old, man. I mean, it's love, but it's crazy. I can't believe they were dating. Mel says, I'm still thinking too about that Russian incident you had. You dated a Russian girl and she almost killed you. That was crazy. Mel says, I connected with a childhood friend today that I haven't spoke to in years. We've both been through a lot, lost touch, and was weighing heavy on my heart. Oh, you're infatuated. You're in love, brother. You've influenced my actions to reach out. Whoa. Nah, Mel, don't put that on me, man. Mel, I love you, brother. If you want to be with her, then I'm glad I inspired you. But this is what I want to tell you. Mel, don't you come in this chat room a year from now, tell me it was a fucking disaster, and now you blame me because I inspired you. I preach being single. Not for everyone. If you want to be in a relationship, you should do that. Some people should be in a relationship. That's their gift and that's their desire. But if you know yourself and you know you're better off single, I stay single. Jesus' disciples asked him, because he was kind of like saying what I was saying. That's what Jesus was saying. Like, you're probably better off staying single. And then his disciples said, Jesus, are you saying it's better to be single? And you know what Jesus' reply was? Look it up. Jesus said, not everyone can handle that. Not everyone can handle the truth. That's what Jesus said. Look it up in the scriptures. Paul said it's probably better for you to stay single. There is more warning about staying single in the New Testament than ever before. But what do they say? They say get married. Then when you get married, they say you can't get divorced. That's adultery. They said that too in the Bible, so be careful. Got to think for yourself. Good job. Gilbert. Luke, I never thought of my 30s as middle. Oh yeah, 38 is the peak of your life. Everything after that is downhill as far as physically. I think that should be the point of getting one's life in order. I totally agree. You are a great time in my life. Thank you, me too. I wish I had seen clearer back then. That's all right. We can't go backwards. We got to go forward. Gilbert, I love you. Keep walking. Keep that blood flowing, brother. Luke, thanks, Gilbert. I'm trying to get things moving forward, my man. I fell down. I will get back up. That's right. I've fallen down many times. The scriptures do say the godly may fall 7 times, but they will get up again. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. I fell many times. Also one of the inspirational quotes says, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Now, sometimes that's a hard one to swallow, but yes, you have to get back up. We're all in the same boat. Tom Hanks, say that, Sam. Tom Hanks and Blanton from Boone. It's a wild college party going on right now in Boone, North Carolina. What's up, brothers? Gilbert, I agree. Goal setting is necessary, and to change them as we advance with our lives. That's true. Correcting and adjusting to make life more palatable. I know what that means, but I don't know how to say it. Gilbert, you're a very intelligent man. Good job, brother. Adam, I hope I can go on stage Monday when Trump comes to Cleveland and ask him to question, please help me. Orphans and Americans, please, and thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. That's, everyone should do what they want. I don't think that would get you anywhere. So obviously I wouldn't recommend doing that. Um, if you really want to institute change, this is what you do. You go to vote.org, you register to vote, and you vote. And you don't just get involved when there's political elections. Every day, like, you write your congressman or your representative, and you do, but you also don't get seduced into being like a political junkie. You have to live your life. And even though there's things I see wrong with the system, I still see a lot of great things in the system and in the current way society is. So, like, I try to stay balanced. Like, not everything is the earth is falling. I mean, actually, if you look at the context of history, we're actually in a great period. You know, we're not in World War III. The economy overall it's going forward. But I say that with a grain of salt because the wealthier keep getting wealthy, but it's not destitute. And so we have to be fair that the overall, at least I can speak for America and overall different things I see in the world, everything's not bad. And we have to acknowledge that. Because if every day you just scream that the earth is on fire, it doesn't give you credibility. There's some good things going on in the United States, in the economy, and in the world. There's some bad things. So address the bad things, be thankful for the good things, and then make the most of what you can control. There's a whole balance of thought. But how you enact change is you vote, you get involved, and then you live your life every day. Because certainly I know a lot of people that waste their life just trying to change a politician's mind. It's a balance. There's no one answer. Good job, John. All due respect. All due ego and fear why people can't respect others. Ego is a lot. And then look, there's just sometimes you don't vibe with people. It could be, there's just some people you're not going to vibe with, and that's okay. But I tried to give love and respect, but there's plenty of times like I get in arguments or disagreements, but I don't stay there. Like if I don't want to say arguments, because once I see like me and that person not vibing, I just cut them off. I don't try to hurt them. Because you don't want to argue in a foolish sense where it gets you nowhere. You're just two different people. And in a world of billions of people, guess what? You're not going to get along with everyone. As long as you're not bullying people. There's some bullies out there. And that's where I get pissed off. Bullies and hypocrites. There's a lot of them. That's not right. Speak your mind, do what you want, but don't bully and don't be a hypocrite. Okay? Because it's true that Trump got the North Korean president to stop testing missiles. But it's also fact that President Obama got bin Laden. Okay? Who's tougher? Okay? You don't have to speak tough to actually do good things. Okay? So you can get a guy from Stop Testing Missiles, or you can get the worst terrorist in the entire history of the United States of America, but you don't beat your chest about it. Okay? All right. Some people ain't going to like that, but that's all right. Gilbert, sometimes we fall is to humble and bring clarity. Well, I agree with that. We all fall. We all fall, myself included, all the time. None of us are better than any of us. Okay? And we all need each other. And I don't want to see anything bad happen to anyone. And that's a little bit why I do get a little bit politically involved. So sometimes I see a lack of humility, and I see it from our current administration. I'm sorry. I like the boldness. I like it, but I don't like the fact that there's no humility and there's no graciousness. That's not the way to be. And that's not the leadership of America. Okay? Because when the stock market tripled under Obama, I didn't hear him say the economy was great. I disagree on certain points. I heard him say, where's your birth certificate? Okay? Where's your birth certificate? The stock market just tripled under Obama, but he didn't say, great job. Where's your birth certificate? You captured bin Laden. You're not tough on terrorists. You closed ISIS. So I don't like, our Statue of Liberty says, bring us your destitute, this and this. I didn't see immigration reform, but I just says, look, don't let people in. I didn't see healthcare reform, even though you had a majority of Republicans in the House and Congress. I didn't see any of that. All I saw was corporate tax reform. That's it. So that matters to me. Because to me, it shows a lack of empathy leading the country, which I'm part of, which I disagree with. Okay, good job. Apathy. Good to hear you, Sam. My mother was always healthy. She loved to walk until she got in her 80s. She would say every part of me hurts. So I heard that. The alternative suck, but the alternative sucks. Well, I hear that. That's a great comment, brother. Um, sometimes I've heard people say, look, I'm ready to go now because I'm in too much pain. So you do get to that point too. But thank you for sharing. I mean, sometimes I get very sad when I visit my mom or because you can't take away their pain. They're older. Just like I felt with my dog. I couldn't help her. I couldn't make her young again. But I remember watching TV, and there was a famous guy that was taking care of his mother. And he said, look, it's a horrible time of life when somebody gets a certain age and they get too old. But it's good to laugh. Like, even in the horrible moments, like whether it's her physical limitations or her wetting herself or what, we still found moments to laugh. And I think that's wisdom. And I still do that with my mom. And I still do that with, I try to, even these things I laugh. Some people don't like it. I can't make everyone like me. I want the best for everyone. I want the best for Trump. I want the best for everybody. But I'm sharing my life. I mean, it is what it is. And, but laughter is part of it. Even in a horrible older age thing, try to find moments of laugh. And even like that one older lady was doing to the guy in Starbucks, and I saw her doing it. Every time the older guy would start to talk too much about like negative stuff, she would pull him back and say, oh yeah, when were you born? Who would you hang out with? You know what I'm saying? So like, even me, like I'll talk about like some serious stuff. Some people like get uncomfortable, but I bring it back. Like, because I understand that you can't go down the dark hole of all negativity. Now, I'm not the type of person where I'm going to talk all like fake positivity, like I see like Joel Osteen. But I love Joel. He helps a lot of people. But I got to be, for me, this is me expressing me. I got to be like somewhere in the middle, like balanced for me. And so address the dark truths, but stay positive. But, I find that I try to find for me that middle of the road for me. And that's how I try to live my life. Tima. I choose to find joy in the beautiful sunsets until I'm able to live among the palm trees and ocean waves of my dreams. T-Mob, I've been there. And that's how it started with me, with my house. I had pictures on my wall of palm trees, of oceans. And I painted my walls like a light blue, like a purple, like everything was magical. And then I got to a point where I said, man, it's not enough just to see these fake pictures on my wall. I want to be there. And so over the course of 2-3 years, got my house on the market. I threw out just about everything because selling is the first step in downsizing, not acquiring RV, not acquiring a vacation home, selling. Throwing out and selling is the first step to downsizing. And so I knew that. And so that's what I did. And I said, I'm going to liquidate everything and be in the position to get where I want to be. And then I sold everything. I threw out everything. And I lived in my car for 2 years in New Jersey. And then eventually I was able to get a remote position to move full-time in Florida. But I took trips. I transferred my paperwork. I did everything in steps and I kept going. Did it end up exactly how I thought it would be? I mean, not exactly, but pretty close. And that's the value of a goal. Aim for the moon. Even if you miss, you're amongst the stars. Good job. Carlos, get a job. I got one. Probably pays more than you. This guy has been here so many times. Just a hateful guy. That's okay. We got love for you. Don't worry. You're going to be all right. Linda, Rusty, 78609, the YouTuber on a date. He was so happy about it. Yeah, I saw his happiness. I like what he said about familiarity breeds contempt. I also agree. That was a great comment. So this person, which I agree with, on YouTube, he says that he was visiting family that he hadn't seen in 15 years. And he visited them for 2 days, and it made him, they really enjoyed their time together. And what he says is, they really enjoyed their time together because they spent so much time apart. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. But familiarity brings contentment. And so like I was just, with my mom for 2 weeks. I mean, I wasn't getting content, but I do know it's a good thing to have time apart. Even being a caretaker, I think you should take time apart. I think that's wisdom. Like I often say, like if you're living in your car, van, or RV and you're parked in front of a family member's house or a friend, I think you should treat it like a state park. Don't spend more than 14 consecutive days there. I do think absence makes the heart grow fonder, but familiarity, seeing something every day, brings contentment. There's exceptions, but on average, I agree with that statement. Bobby, John Wayne. John Wayne, I think, was in that movie too. Maybe he was. I don't remember. Gloria. Hey, Gloria. I'm 72. Life is still good. Thank you for sharing. Good to see you. Going camping next week. Good. I feel 40. I'm not mad at that. Gloria, I love you. Good job. Thank you. Gloria, I love seeing you, Sam. I love you too, Gloria. I know sometimes you may disagree with me, but always know, Gloria, and everyone, no matter who you vote for, I mean, I love you. And, it's all love. I'm just sharing my view. But I don't want to, I want everyone to live a great life. Gloria, and I love and appreciate and respect you sincerely. So again, you have to understand that part of my channel is just me expressing me, and I have to. That's part of my self-therapy. Doesn't mean that you have to be me. And it doesn't mean like if we disagree, like I want to see bad things happen to you or someone else. I don't want to see bad things happen to anyone. Okay, I want everyone to do great. Even that guy, that hateful guy, Carlos, that comes in here every once in a while, he leaves all these thumbs down, he leaves all these negative. I know he's just hurting in life because there's no way you're happy and you're doing that. He's hurt. So again, if you do like this video and it helps, I ask you to give it a thumbs up and you share it. Because Carlos, he's not doing that. That's all right. James, don't count on the days, make the days count. That's wisdom. Luke, you cracked me up. When you said my 19-year-old girlfriend is the reason why I don't want to go to work. Yeah, I had a 19-year-old girlfriend before. Believe me, who you kidding, brother? I'm not mad at you. James, I just cashed my check, bought some jeans. Oh, that's capitalism. Make money, spend it, and then get back on that rat race. Headphones, and went to the gym. I made the day count. Much love. I'm not mad at that because I've done that before. Good job, though. Those are good investments. Headphones, definitely, because music heals the soul. And now, clothing, I'm not big on clothing. And for me, I like all sports-like clothing. I mean, you know me, I'm commando. I don't buy any underwear. But what I will say is I love you, James. I'm happy for you. You work hard. You should spend your money however you want. Because there were many years that I didn't buy nice cars, nice clothing, but I spent my money in risky investments. So that's a lot of things. Like a lot of times guys may say to girls, well, don't buy money in clothing. But then the guy goes buy tools, okay? Or something else. I mean, everyone spends their money differently. So I never want to shame someone on how they spend their money. I used to do that until I realized, look, I'm spending money too. I'm just doing it different. And I probably spend more in Starbucks than a lot of people spend in other things. So all I can always say to anyone out there, financially speaking, just try to spend less than you make, okay? You want to make more than you spend. That's living below your means. Why? Because I want you to be empowered to have financial freedom so that you're not on the hook to someone else and that you could be your best self. Luke, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. That was before R. Kelly got really wild, and I rebuke him. But his first few albums, total masterpieces. Good job. Name that artist. Come on, that's an easy one, man. Sweet Sadie. Yep. A lot of R. Kelly hits. Good job. Down all that stuff. Good job, Luke. That pre-lung thing. Let me put my thing on beep. Am I getting a text message from a girl who says she wants to meet up at Motel 6? No, just something that I don't want to say out loud. Luke says, that pretty young thing gets off at 9. Gonna be at dinner and movie night. Yeah, I know what that means. Good job, Luke. Gonna get popcorn ready. I know what that means. Good job, Andy G. Happy Friday, folks. Andy G, we love you, brother. Peace to you, Luke. Or maybe a little Sade in the background. She's not ready for Sade. She's 19. She don't even know who Sade is while cooking. But she would like Sade. Funny, she never heard of Sade. I knew it. Damn it, I knew it. I'm so good, man. But I'm retired, man. I'm retired. And what I can tell you, Luke, you need you a MILF, brother. You got to get rid of the pretty young thing, because the pretty young thing, she don't care right now that you're not taking care of yourself. Why? Because she don't really know what life is yet. A MILF gonna get you right. A MILF gonna make sure you're working. And a MILF gonna teach you a little bit about life. Go get you a MILF, man. Drop that PYT. Do the right thing, brother. Okay? Luke, laugh out loud. Wild sex with you, brother. Love you, brother. Oh, love you too. Love and respect. Luke, My Willie might be getting silly now. All right, getting a little wild. Time to relieve that jobless stress. Be careful, brother. Like I said, what are you better? You're better off masturbating and not getting involved in disastrous relationships. But I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. So try to find someone you love, and and then when you get a divorce, don't blame me. All right, Mel left my ass off. No man, it was old buddy, not a girl. Hilarious. I'm glad it went that way. Total disaster. See, Mel tell you almost had somebody kill him. Gloria, keep a guy for a week and then send him home. See, that's what you need. You need a girl like Gloria. Gloria, I want you to hook up with Luke right now because Gloria been through life. She'll teach you a lot about life. Okay. Let me tell you something. You do good to date Gloria and drop that young girl because Gloria, she knows what she's doing. James, this weekend, what I want you to rent is Boy Next Door with Jennifer Lopez. Okay. Because that's the type of relationship you need to get in. Not the part where it gets wild at the end, just the beginning. James, one of my favorite quotes, Sam, is stay single, and your pockets will jingle. You ain't lying about that. 100 emoji to you. Peppy pep. Peppy pig. Now, everyone can handle being alone. That's true. And jump to the next rebound. My good friend working on her 5th guy, and it all drama. You know that. Nice person, but disaster emoji. And they don't even have a disaster emoji. Good job. Oh, yeah, they do. Somebody give me the explosion emoji. That's disaster. Luke, brother, always nice to see your live feeds. It's good to have you. It definitely brings positive vibes to my soul. Good. And I know everyone here gets blessed. Thank you. Love how you can have serious conversation while still having fun and humor. Yes. There was a season of my life where I got too serious. And I give credit to the MILF. That's why you need to date MILFs. I started seeing this MILF. And she said to me, Sam, you're getting too serious. And not as far as like our relationship, but how I was thinking. She goes, you can't be serious all the time. And she was 100% right. And I'm not even joking with you. And that's the value of someone who's been through life, because you're never going to solve every problem of the world. And if you're too serious too, it doesn't come across well, because you're going to end up in a negative space. And people want to see you address negativity, but you also have to have some levity. You got to have some humor. That's charming. That's attractive, because no one wants to be negative. Everyone already knows this world's a disaster. Even Joel Osteen, that brother knows this world's a disaster. But he's making a lot of money. He's making a lot of money off donations, so he don't want to tell you that. But what I can tell you is the world's a disaster. So you got to have some humor. Good job. Luke, just being real. I appreciate that. Gilbert. Yes, Sammy. It's good to let out and listen to great advice. Well, I appreciate that, Gilbert. I appreciate you. Mr. JD. Hey, Sam. Hello to you. Good to see you. Jorn F. Hello from Norway. You are cool. I know it's cool in Norway. I'm here in Florida, man. Good to see you. Thank you, Jorn. James, there's always been 100% respect for you, Sam. Well, to you as well. On my end, I take care of my mother, love and respect, at a young age, and she was more than appreciative. Thanks, Sam. James, cheers to you, brother. Good job. Bobby Griffin, what's up, brother? I tried to be thankful for what I have, or could have, but that's hard while living in New York. It's so expensive. Well, I know. Spent many years up there. So, but there are some beautiful things in New York. Now, again, I don't know if you're in Manhattan or if you're in Queens, or there's different parts, or upstate New York. There's totally different parts of New York. So, but I spent most of my life in that area. Some in Jersey, some in New York. So what I could tell you is there's a lot of great things there too. So make the most of them. There's a lot of beautiful museums that I visited. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, great museum. I mean, so many great walks that I did in Central Park. I can't tell you how many times I walked from the Brooklyn Bridge up to Harlem and back. There's a lot of great things to experience in New York. So experience them, and if you want to go somewhere else, sell, consolidate, liquidate, and reposition your life. The best time to get a job is when you currently have a job. And the job market overall is good. So try to reposition life like I did. Love and respect, man. Thank you for the comment. Air Mob, a lot of noise and loud trucks at the truck stop. Yep, I experienced it. Well, let me say this. There's some truck stops that I've been to are quieter than a rest stop. Like rest stops aren't necessarily truck stops. Sometimes truck stops are quieter than rest stops. It all depends. He says, a lot of noise trucks, I couldn't sleep well there. It all depends. How do you cope with that noise? And cars on highways near trucks and stop rest areas. Rest areas can be noisy. I've adapted to it. So for me, the main thing, again, is you got to make your car dark. You got to put window covers and your front shades on, and it's got to be completely dark. Then for me, it takes time. It took me a couple months to adapt. And I just adapted. Uh, I can't explain it, but that's how I feel. Peppy Pig. Laugh out loud. Sade cracking me up. Yeah, I love Sade. I listen to her every day. The muse. Yeah, she's the, in my opinion, I don't know if you don't classify her as R&B, even though you could. But I mean, I've listened to many of her interviews, and she didn't give much. She was a very quiet person. But she basically classified her music as soul music, and I agree. It's soul, light jazz. I mean, it's just absolutely top quality music. Sade. I mean, to me, amazing artist. I'll just and her band too. Her band, and they're from. I believe they're from England. Um, I know she was half Nigerian, half English, but her band is from England. Just an absolutely amazing musical group. Gloria plus Magnet. Mature women are settled and don't play games. Oh, they play games, but they're settled. And what I can tell you is get yourself a MILF. I love you, Gloria. Annie G. Laugh out loud. Love this place. You got me laughing tonight. Good. It's good to laugh. Thank you. Luke, laugh out loud. Good. Sam, you're awesome. You crack me up. Thank you. Funny you say, I got this French girl, 35, who, oh, that's not a, 35 is not a MILF. Oh, but she could be a MILF, but I'm talking about, you got to get past 40 now. All right. 35 and wants to hang out, and she had a accounting job for government, and she is chasing me and want to teach me French. Nah, that's not a MILF, man. MILFs don't chase you. Nah, MILFs seduce you. Big difference, okay? Pretty young things, they chase you. MILF, she'll seduce you. She'll boomerang you, okay? She'll Robin Givens you, okay? Big difference. You're not in the MILF game, brother. What you're in, young girl who's a little mature, who thinks she knows it, she don't know it. You got to get with Gloria, and I love Gloria. And no disrespect to Gloria, but you know what I'm saying. Luke, safe is definitely, probably meant to say, Saturday is definitely soul music. I love her. So rhythmic, hypnotic, and her sound. Her sounds beautiful. Josh, would you consider yourself an introvert or extrovert? I would say on the scale of introvert, meaning very much to yourself and kind of like a lone wolf, that's introvert. Extrovert, very much a social person, outgoing, likes to be around people, likes to be in like, you know, social settings, likes to date. I'm probably not in the middle, but probably close to the middle, but not, I'm more towards being an introvert, but I'm not a total isolationist. Like, I know how to socialize with people very well. So when I need to be, I can be all the way extrovert. But I prefer, when I have the choice, to be mainly introvert as far as how I like to be by myself. But I do have social skills, and I don't mind using them. But that's how I classify myself. Luke, Sade, I got you. Sea Monkey. Hey, Sam, what's up, man? You skipped me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I missed you. And I said something just for you. Well, I'm sorry. Well, if you said something and it didn't come across, sometimes if you curse or if you say something like a little bit wild, I do have a filter on my live chat room that won't come. I didn't see it, or maybe I just skipped it, but I didn't mean to skip it. I'm sorry. Luke, so what's your plans for this weekend? Mainly just ocean and travel around Florida. That's what I plan to do. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much. Luke, brother, love you. Bobby, upstate New York, Hudson Valley. Yes, totally different feel. I work for the utility company. You probably know which one. No way to relocate, but your live stream remind me that it's always possible. Thanks. Well, thank you, love and respect. You don't have to necessarily relocate with the same company. Now, I know some utility providers, they give you a pension. They're still one of the last people that do that. And it could be like a very secure job. But you could take your resume and become like a maintenance electrician. And there are utility directors down in Florida and make a little bit less money, but live where you want, especially if you're single and you don't have a family. So you can definitely leverage your experience in the workforce, and you can get a similar, you don't have to get the exact job title. When you search for a job, like if you're in the electrical industry, don't put like you're a utility electrician, just put electrical. So you go to Indeed.com, you put the description of a job, just put electrical, and then just put Florida. And then, filter through. Like, I remember when I was an electrician and I was trying to like change I remember one of my managers said, Sam, I want to make you a manager, but you're just seeing the electrical side of the picture. And if you always think like an electrician, your job title is always going to be electrician. So he goes, use that skill, but think outside of just what you're doing, and then you can be more than that. And that was one of the seeds that pushed me to advance my career and, become like, into leadership and then into management or, so what I could tell you is there is a broad spectrum that you can do with your work experience in the related field. So don't sell yourself short. Thank you for commenting, Luke. Already, man. I am out. Have a great night. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you also. It was fun watching you, fun having you. And serious note, thanks. Thank you. Seriously. Positive, encouraging words. Thank you. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Gloria. I love you, Gloria. Seriously. I love everyone, okay? Again, I love everyone. I don't care who they are, what they believe, but obviously we all have different people we vibe with. And so, it is what it is. Sea Monkey says, Sam, I said that I'm having a garage sale tomorrow and I'm going commando. I'm not mad at that. I don't know if it will help sales or hurt them. It'll probably help them because studies show that when you feel more comfortable, you make better decisions and you're happier, you're more pleasant to be around. So when people come to your garage sale and if you're all tight and you got a wedgie and you got to keep picking your penis because it's getting like scrunched up in your drawers, are you going to be happy? No, you're going to be miserable. But if you're like just free flowing and you got no wedgie and you don't have to worry about like being constricted, you're going to be very happy. And people are going to sense that and they're going to want to be around you. Okay. That's positive. Gloria, I love you. Thank you for hanging in there. I know sometimes probably not easy to listen to everything I say, but I love and respect you. And again, my prayer is the best for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter what, do the best you can, make the most of your days. We're all getting older. Let's not be sad about it, but let's seize the moment of our life.